What up, people? Pushing While Black here, and this is the sports vlog that, let's see, the NBA Finals happened. LeBron won his first ring for Cleveland. Happy for him. But this isn't what I want to talk about because I am not a Cleveland fan. So I do have I do kind of like LeBron because everybody's kind of hating for stupid reasons and not basketball reasons. But Derrick Rose got traded, and I wanted to do this after the draft because Jimmy Butler was going to get traded. That was going to happen. Boston was giving was they were offering the number 3 pick desperately. The more feasible draft trade would have been the Minnesota trade because that was the 5th pick. They were going to give up Zach LaVine. They were going to give up a center that I don't remember right now, and somebody. It was Zach LaVine. It was the 5th pick, and it was a center. He was one of their young backup centers. I would have did that trade in a second. Not because I don't like Jimmy Butler, but a couple things. One, Jimmy Butler wants to model his game after James Harden. Jimmy Butler is not a natural scorer like James Harden. Jimmy Butler wants to run the point guard position, which is kind of why Derrick Rose got traded. Because if you keep Jimmy Butler, then Jimmy Butler is going to run point guard, basically. And that makes Derrick Rose a shooter. Derrick Rose is not a shooter like that. And so we're not even mentioning the fact that Derrick Rose is injury prone and as explosive as he can be still, it's really not worth the headache. Because there were times last season, and there were times last season, and there were times the season before last season, where it was kind of like they were kind of like, I don't want to say they couldn't coexist, but there was friction there, and there's been friction there for a minute. So Derrick Rose getting traded, I was not surprised. I am not upset because Derrick Rose got traded. Quite honestly, he wasn't going to stay anyway. He lives out in L.A. during the off season. He trains out there. People in his circle was saying that he wasn't going to stay. There was talk of him going to Sacramento or Los Angeles. Quiet as kept, I honestly believe they should have traded him last year with the Lakers because the Lakers needed a point guard badly. And I figured, like, okay, you go and you get the second pick because they had the second pick last year too. And I was like, man, go get a big man. Go get Okafor, or go get the kid Karl Anthony Towns. I would have traded him last year and got one of those two guys, but that didn't happen. They kept him an extra year. I honestly think they kept him an extra year too late, and they traded him for, I don't want to say nothing because I watched Jose Calderon in Dallas. He's a serviceable point guard. He can shoot threes, which is something that Fred Hoiberg wants to do in that offense. Robin Lopez is okay. He's a rim defender. Noah's gone. Powell is going to leave. Noah's going to leave. He's probably either going to be in New York or he's going to be in Minnesota with Tom Thibodeau. So you got your rim protector. They like the young guard. I'm forgetting that kid's name too. But he was really good in when he was in Notre Dame. So they like that guy. I honestly thought Jimmy Butler would have been gone because this is a rebuild. Despite what what the Bulls say, they're rebuilding. And to be quite honest, Jimmy Butler on that team it's gonna be very painful to watch him try to go for 40 every night when he's really not a polished scorer like that. He can, and he's developing as a scorer, and he can light it up on a good night. But I watched this brother drop 40 or drop 50, and it was very, very hard to do so. And you're trying to run point too. Yeah, good luck with that. But it is what it is. Like what the Bulls did in the first round. I like what. Let's go with the draft. Derrick Rose wasn't going to say anyway. He was probably going to be in LA in a year or Sacramento in a year. He was not going to be here. I was not upset. You needed to get something. You had to let Noah go, or Noah's probably going to go for nothing. You let Powell go for nothing. This doesn't make sense to let Derrick go for nothing. They let him go for something. I don't like they give up their second round pick for that, because this draft is not necessarily deep with, like game-changing talent, but you can get talent in the second round. So I didn't like that, but anyway, I like what they did in the first round. Let's see who else. I like what New Orleans getting Buddy Hield is awesome. That's probably the steal of the draft. And apparently, the trade for Serge Ibaka to Orlando is official. That was the shock of the evening. I love that trade. Not necessarily for Orlando, because I don't really know what Orlando's doing, but I do like that trade for OKC. You already have Cantor. You already have Steven Adams. You have another guy. You have another young center who I can't remember his name, but he's out of Michigan. You can do. He's all right. You need a third option, and you actually need a two guard. Russell, it doesn't really matter, because Russell Westbrook is such a scorer that you don't really notice. But with Kevin Durant, sometimes they need a third option, and with Victor Oladipo, they have a third option now. And they got Arvidas Sabonis' son, and he actually is good. He's not really a high flyer. He doesn't really, jump out the gym or anything. But he's a straight up, old school power forward who can shoot a little bit. I listened to the draft while I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. But PJ Carlissimo's breakdown of him, because he knows him, breakdown of his game was actually, I'm going to go with PJ's a little bit more than, Andy Katz and them and Fran Fraschillo. I'm going to go with his breakdown more than those guys, just because he knows them more and he kind of studied them a little bit and he watched them in Gonzaga. He can shoot the three. He's a rebounder. He has a little toughness in him. You know what I'm saying? You have a guy that not necessarily can step in, but you have a very young, talented piece with that. You have three centers already on that squad, and you just added another center / power forward. So my homeboy Ann is probably freaking out right now, but yeah, that's a good trade for OKC. It's a good trade for OKC. Apparently, Serge really wasn't going to be there anyway. He was because Steven Adams and Cantor got more playing time, sort of, and Serge played out of position. So he kind of wanted to be the dude, apparently. So that's another reason why they made the deal. But anyway, that's about it. That's a quick one. This will probably be up tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening or something. But yeah, Bulls will be fine. You're gonna see Jimmy Butler score a lot of points and take a lot of shots doing it, and hopefully the guards that they picked up in trades, and hopefully they can pull a B level, because I'm not expecting the Bulls to pull out for B level trade to get, or B level free agent, not a B level free agent. I'm not expecting them to get Kevin Durant. I'm not expecting them to do that. I'm not expecting them to get major free agents. I'm expecting them to get like a B level, C plus level free agent because that's what they tend to do. I don't know why is it that Chicago isn't like a major destination for free agents, but it's always been like that. I remember Tracy McGrady and Tim Duncan like that year everybody was like Tracy McGrady's coming, and Tracy McGrady didn't show, and Tim Duncan didn't show, and all these people didn't show. We ended up getting Ron Mercer and Eddie Robinson. So I'm expecting them to get a B-level free agent somewhere, like they always do, to pair with Jimmy Butler if that Boston deal doesn't go through, or if that Minnesota deal doesn't go through. I'm not upset that D.Rose got traded. He was not going to be here anyway, and he was injury prone. And for the people that say that you could have kept him to the trading deadline, yeah, you can do that, but he's probably would have got injured sometime before that. So that was probably the best thing you was gonna get for him, considering you told the entire league you were trying to trade him. So anyway, push the ball black out. Later.